All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a pretty fascinating and honestly kind of unsettling shift that's happening all around us. And it's all about what it even means to own something anymore, especially in this digital world.
So let me just start with a question that really cuts right to the heart of this whole thing. If you pay for something, let's say a new product, but some corporation somewhere can remotely just shut it off, do you really own it at all? Seriously, think about that. Your car, your phone, maybe even your printer. If they have the off switch, what did you actually pay for? This is the core of this huge disconnect between the convenience they sell us and the control we're giving up.
Okay, so let's take a look at how this is actually playing out in the real world. Because there are these new rules of buying things that, well, it feels like nobody asked us if we wanted them.
And here's a perfect, almost unbelievable example. Back in 2022, BMW started charging a monthly fee for heated seats. Now, here's the crazy part. The heated seats were already physically installed in the cars. It wasn't an upgrade. You didn't need a new part. Nope, it was just a software lock. They literally made you pay a subscription to turn on a thing you already had.
And this whole thing, it leads us to this really important new idea. It's being called permanent permission. Basically, we're shifting away from a world where you buy something and you own it to a world where you're just granted access. You're constantly paying for permission to use the features on the products you thought were yours. And that permission, it can be revoked or repriced at any time.
So, you gotta ask, how in the world did we get here? How did we go from buying something once and being done with it to, well, subscribing to it forever? This was no accident, let me tell you. It was a very, very deliberate shift in how businesses make money.
You can actually trace this road to renting pretty clearly. I mean, think about it. Yesterday, you bought a physical thing, a CD, a DVD, a book, and it was yours forever. Then came the iTunes era, right? You owned a digital file, which was kind of like owning it. But now, today, with Spotify and Netflix, you don't own a single thing. You're just licensing access. You're renting. And that library you're renting from can change or disappear overnight. And if you're wondering why this shift happened, well, just look at the business model. With a one-time purchase, you own it, and the company has to actually innovate and create a better product to get you to buy again. But with a subscription, you're just licensing it. That means recurring revenue for them. They can just keep extracting value from you, the existing user. For Wall Street, this is the golden goose. It's a predictable money-printing machine.
And you know that feeling when a platform or an app that you used to love just starts getting worse? Suddenly it's cluttered, or they start hiding the best features behind a paywall. Yeah, there's a word for that. It's called enchification. It's that process where a great service stops caring about the user experience and starts prioritizing how to squeeze every last penny out of you.
And this sort of drip of annoyance is popping up everywhere. I mean, get this. HP printers can now literally block you from using the ink you already paid for, the ink that's in the printer, if you cancel their subscription. There are even sewing machines that hide advanced stitches behind a monthly paywall. It's just this slow, steady creep, taking away control of the very things we have in our own homes. But look, this is about way more than just money. It's not just about annoying subscription fees. There are some really deep hidden costs to all this convenience, especially when we start talking about privacy and, our own personal control.
Take your PC, for example. It's changing. The whole concept is shifting towards what they call an agentic operating system. That's just a fancy way of saying AI is being baked right into the core of it. Take the new Windows Recall feature. Its whole job is to take constant snapshots of everything you do on your computer, creating this searchable photographic memory of your entire digital life. And as you can probably guess, security researchers took one look at this and, well, they freaked out. They immediately called it a treasure trove for malware. I mean, can you imagine? One single point of failure that, if it gets hacked, exposes literally everything you've ever done on your computer.
And here's the real kicker. We're all being forced into this giant experiment with tech that is nowhere near ready. An analysis found that right now, AI has a failure rate of about 96% when used for professional tasks. 96%. So basically, we're the unpaid beta testers, feeding these systems our data, while the big corporations are the ones cashing in. And it's not just on our PCs. This trend is moving into the real world. Meta, for example, is developing a feature for its smart glasses. They're calling it an AI name tag. The idea is that it could identify complete strangers in real time just by looking at them. The privacy implications of that are just staggering to think about. This quote really puts it all into perspective. It says the iPod was the last mainstream tech product that purely served the the user. And when you think about it, it's so true. The iPod did one thing. It played your music. It didn't track you. It didn't push ads on you. It didn't need a subscription. It just worked for you, the owner.
Okay, so it's not all bad news. Not at all. Because in response to all of this, there's this quiet but definitely growing counter-movement. People are starting to fight back. You could call it the ownership resistance.
And what these people are doing is pretty interesting. It's like an analog defense. Some are switching to open source software like Linux because it's transparent and they control it. A lot of people are actually going back to physical media. Yep, buying DVDs, vinyl records, books, because hey, a corporation can't remotely delete a DVD from your shelf, right? And others are using tools to scrub their personal data from all those broker sites.
So let's bring this all home. Why does any of this really matter to you? What's the final takeaway from this big shift from owning things to just renting them?
At the end of the day, this whole resistance movement, it's not about being anti-technology. Not at all. It's about something much more fundamental. It's a simple, powerful demand that when we buy something, it stays bought. That's it. Simple as that.
So that really just leaves one last question, and this one's for you. Have you started to feel that drip of annoyance in your own life? Have you found yourself pushing back in small ways, starting your own analog defense, maybe by buying a physical book or choosing a simpler app? It really all comes down to where we, individually, decide to draw the line between convenience and control.